Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to an ASMR version of the Make It Rain podcast. This is episode 5. He's Anthony Collazo. I'm Joe O'Regan. Just kidding! Happy Monday! Here we go! It's time! Roll that intro, baby. He's Anthony Collazo from the Hockey News. I'm Joe O'Regan. Let's do this. How about that?
Rain played bad. Rain played bad. Rain played bad. Rain played bad.
Judging by the fact, if you could not have heard Anthony Collazo right there, go right ahead and say it without the music real quick.
Rain played bad.
You got it. So, because we got a lot to get to with the two games this week, we're just going to get the ad read out now. As this episode of the Make It Rain podcast is brought to you by Gowdy Law. We all know having a game plan is key, but when it comes to your family's future, are you ready? Gowdy Law is here to help, specialize in estate planning. Gowdy Law ensures your loved ones are protected from losing a load of money and time to probate when you pass. Just like on the ice, preparation matters. Tell the rain that. Don't wait till the last minute to make the right play. Visit GowdyLaw.com today to start planning for the future, get estate planning pricing, and a free consultation right on their website. It's that simple. The price is right there. Gowdy Law. Make estate planning easy, understandable, and affordable. The link is in the description.
Here we go. We got game 1 of the week they were facing off against the Coachella Valley Firebirds. Yes, it is a Pacific Division rematch. Back to the House of Horrors Acrisure Arena. 35 seconds in, a good forecheck put the Rain on their heels very early. Defensive breakdown. Oh, captain, my captain. Max McCormick got the Firebirds standing on tables early in the game, later in the first. Jacob Milan, you are my son, scores off the rush. Part 2, a bit of a blunder by Phoenix Copley. It is 2-0 Coachella Valley, not what you want. Winter is 54 days away, but Ryan Winterton does not care at all. He scores a breakaway goal off another Rain breakdown. 3-0 Coachella Valley. Into the second, the Rain train finally gets moving. Sean was in his element. A one-time blast to put the Rain on the board off the back of another Jack Stunica assist. Unfortunately, Jaime Newman would pump the brakes on the train, living up to his last name and tipping in a pass from Speedy Leighton Road. It is now 4-1 into the third. And Francesco Pinelli scores his first of the season. It was about time, rushing from the right edge and batting the puck off a high rebound. It is now 4-2. We have life. No, we don't. They go quiet the rest of the third period before Florida baseball legend Logan Morrison scores the empty net goal. 5-2 is the final.
There's like a common theme with some of these obscure baseball names. There's a Logan Morrison on the Firebirds. There's a Taylor Ward on the Rain. But I quickly want to get to the Francesco Pinelli as he's like playing baseball out here with his goal. I just want to quickly get into that because he shoots it, pops up off of Stezka, and he just goes whack and throws it right over his shoulder. Hey, you'll take it how you could get it, right?
Yeah, that was a really nice goal. His hand-eye coordination, man, it's something you can't teach in sports.
This guy's gonna sound like Chris Collinsworth with Mahomes in a moment.
You can't teach hand-eye coordination in sports.
Absolutely
and
not.
Pinelli has that. He has that natural
hockey sense, if you want to say it that way.
Hockey sense, and like the way that the puck was batted up in the air off a high rebound, and he just kind of turns and just swings his stick like a baseball bat. Level swing, by the way, and gets it past the goalie. I mean, that was a goal that I feel like is gonna go under the radar, but realistically, that was a really nice goal.
Absolutely. Hey, like hands inside the puck, flat bat, good extension, great extension, working through the middle of the ice in this point, like.
Yeah, man. Pinelli, he finally gets one. I think we predicted before the season that he would have to be the X factor for this Ontario Reign team, and
Absolutely.
he hasn't really
shown it.
He hasn't shown it so far this year, so it was nice to see him get on the board. And I think that is going to be a goal that gets him going.
Absolutely. I mean, I hope it gets him going because not very much happened with the Reign that game because I mean, Marco Stern pointed out on his interview, he just flat out said they did not play good, and I personally could not agree more. Sorry that you can't allow 3 goals to a Coachella Valley Firebirds team, who I might remind you has made the Calder Cup finals 2 years in a row in their first 2 years of existence. You can't do that, bud. You can't do that.
Yeah, and another thing about that is, although they lost a lot of their guys, their core guys, in this game, they didn't change the way they played at all. Obviously, in AHL, it's more of a system thing. They start off and they put the puck deep in the range zone for their first offensive possession.
Immediately go on the rush.
And it is a huge, just big forecheck that they have done the past 3 years. Just they do it every year, and you know that coming in. And then a defensive breakdown down deep and
Thrown
just easy
in
goal.
Front, backhand, gets right past Copley, and 35 seconds in, the Firebirds go up 1-0. So it's not ideal at the Ontario Reign. I mean, it did not look good. I mean, I'm not going to say very much about that game because I didn't watch the whole game as a whole. So,
yeah, Max McCormick, first goal of the season for the captain. That's huge for him.
Captain.
The Firebirds have been struggling a little bit. Not struggling, but for the Firebirds, you would think that back-to-back Calder Cup finals, they were going to get off to a hot start. They didn't. Stezka, really good game. Second AHL season. He's going to be the starter this year. Really good.
Any way you can learn off of Chris Drieger from last year is obviously a big help for him. So it's something that he took in for the past year. Hopefully he uses it. Like, if I were a Firebirds fan, I'm hoping he takes every bit that he learned from Chris Drieger last year and he throws it into his game plan and his style. And as a Seattle Kraken fan, you've got to be hoping that too, because Phil Grubauer, I think, is a free agent after this year. I'm going to check and see if that's true, but I mean,
another big play in this game came off the back of there was a power play going on, and Fagemo, the puck kind of just landed right in front of the net. Stezka completely out of place, and Fagemo just can't handle the puck, whiffs on the puck. Fagemo, man, I mean, you got to get him going. The Reign are not going to win games if Fagemo is not going. Simple as that.
Absolutely.
You need him to get going, and so far this season, he has not been the same player he was last year. I mean, a lot of people would compare him to, let's say in baseball, there's something called a quadruple A player, where, you rake in triple A, but
really good in
you're not good in MLB.
not good enough in the MLB.
I mean, Fagemo last year, you can say, was
a quadruple A player.
Yeah, and this year, he simply just isn't that at all. He's an AHL player.
What's the letter between A and N? That's what we'd call it at this point. Is that GHL? FHL?
GHL.
Like, he was literally right in the middle of that AHL, NHL level. The NHL side of him, heck, he could shoot the puck. Like, his one-timer was pretty dang close to automatic. But AHL-wise, I mean, defensively, he was, if you want to say subpar, average at best.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil too much of next game as well, the game that happened Sunday night or Sunday afternoon. But it was a lot of the same. And it's something that you just don't love to see if you're a Reign fan.
Absolutely. Should we get into that second game?
I think before we get into that second game, I want to talk about a little bit about their zone breakdowns. They had a lot of not only defensive zone breakdowns, but in the O zone too, where they're just not playing a tight forecheck. They weren't playing good in the neutral zone. All 3 zones of the ice, they looked lost, and that's something that you cannot have.
I mean, once again, I'm going to point this out because I pointed it out a couple times on previous episodes. It's a brand new team. Yeah. You have impact. You have players that you expect and inspecting them as to be good. You're expecting them to be impact players from the jump. You've got Jack Studnicka, you've got Glenn Gaudin, you've got. Should I keep going? I mean, I don't know if there is very many others, but
Sturm talks about that a little bit in the post-game press conference today. I don't know if it's out on YouTube yet. For us, it will be out by the time this is out.
I would assume so.
But Sturm says that you need your best players to be your best players.
Absolutely.
And they haven't been the best players.
Yeah.
It's an issue.
No doubt about it. So, once again, going into that zone breakdown, do you want to break it down kind of for the people at home that might not know what you're talking about for a zone breakdown?
Yeah, just, you can't, like on the first play of the game, you can't have a hard forecheck, try to get the puck out. There was a clear or a failed clear. And when there's a failed clear, you cannot just break down and everyone kind of came up on the ice.
Absolutely.
And you just left McCormick just down low by himself, and there was nobody there at all.
So in almost a way, it's almost like Marco Sturm kind of putting this in NHL, like shell terms, the video game. Like, he had the offense set on leave zone early and a strong side slant. The strong side slant was pretty close to non-existent that game. I mean, he eventually got the guys to stay wide, which is what they did on Sunday's game. We'll break into that a little bit more. But Firebirds doing what they do, get the puck in deep, get the puck out front, and as jokingly as Shorzy says, this is a video if you want to look at it, Instagram, you look for yourself. You get pucks in deep, you get pucks in the net. It's the same thing that the Firebirds do. And, well, if you almost win in back-to-back years, it might work.
Yeah.
You got to think of it that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and with that being said, let's break into Sunday's game as the Reign had an off day Saturday, and the Reign looked to conquer the Henderson Silver Knights on Sunday at Toyota Arena on Racing Day. In the first, Gage Quinney pots his third goal of the year. Get used to hearing this one. On the power play to make it 1-0. About 4 minutes left in the period. Joe Hickett shoots and gets a big juicy rebound for and a 1 and a 2. Yamson almost sounded like I sneezed there. Gets his first North American goal, and the Reign go into the intermission level at 1. Tanner Lachinsky scores on the power play to make it 2-1. Get it? Power play, second goal, second time that's happened this game. And after that, it kind of just turned into an avalanche for the Henderson Silver Knights. Raphael Lavoie turns the Reign into 5 pylons as he extends the Silver Knights lead. And breaking news, Gage Quinney once again scores on the power play to make it 4-1 Silver Knights heading into the second intermission. And then in that third period, Mason Morelli scores to make it 5-1. That's about all she wrote. Riley McKay and Charles Houdon decided to have a hockey version of a pillow fight with about 5 minutes left. They both end up with a misconduct, and they both get a nice, good escort to the locker rooms. With that, the Silver Knights take it 5-1. That was kind of an embarrassing game, if you want to put it that way.
Man,
can I just say this real quick? The Silver Knights going into that game were 1-5.
it was a game where you looked at the schedule, and I don't like to use the term "must win."
Yeah,
and throw it out there, especially early in the season.
Of
but
course, that was one of them.
It's a non-mathematical must-win game for the Reign, and to lose, and not only to lose to a 1-5 team like the Silver Knights, who didn't make the playoffs last year, but to get embarrassed, to get outclassed, and look like you didn't belong on the same ice as them.
We're gonna get into that in a moment, because the Reign took 9 penalties that game. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8. 9 penalties. They had 5 penalties halfway through the game. How does that even happen?
6.
Oh, they had 6. Oh, pardon me. It gets even better. But wait, there's more. The Silver Knights capitalized on 3 of those chances. So, for the people that thinking of it this way at home, if the Reign take 2 penalties, they don't score on either of those, it's probably a 2-1 game, or the Reign either are tied, have the lead, or have a blowout lead, because they're not playing catch up the whole time. You hop on the penalty kill, you get hemmed in your own zone, guys get tired. Like, that's just hockey for you. Like, you can't commit 9 penalties in a hockey game. Like, I could say that till I'm blue in the face, but I mean it.
Yeah, especially 6 in the first half of the game, and they score on 3 of them. They were 3 for 6 on the power play through those 6 penalties, and the Reign the entire season up to that point was 1 for 22. Now they're 1 for 24. And so when you put it that way, it's like someone responded to my tweet and was like, they're going to break records at this rate. And it's like, I can't disagree with you, because they look lost out there. Their power play looks lost.
And the thing is, with that power play, once again, we're going to go right back to the impact players. You have your best guys on the ice. Studnicka and Godin are on there at all times. Godin's the trailer on that power play. I mean, you would surely think sometimes, like those first 5-6 games into the year, you would get somebody who's been on the team for a while, like a Tyler Madden or a Martin Chromiak
Yep.
or a Charles Houdon. You would think you'd get one of those guys on the trailer, and then Marco Sturm could sit back and tell Godin and Sunika, this is what you do, this is what you follow, and that's how you're going to do it once we get into November or December. It's their first game on the Reign, and they have them in there from the jump. I mean, I'm no expert at hockey here, but I don't think it works that way.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, and I think that's a good question that I could potentially ask Sturm in the future. Like, why maybe didn't you throw like a Tyler Madden on the power play one and then pair him with a Houdon, Fagimo, Pinelli? You have options there.
Absolutely.
Instead, I think from game one, you threw Walsh in there. You threw Walsh. You threw
I threw
Godin.
Hickett's in there.
Did he throw Hicketts?
It was Hickett's. It was Hickett's.
So he's changing. I mean, he's changed the power play unit like 3 times now through like 5 games.
Maybe. I mean, heck, it's broke. You got to try and fix it. You can't go 1 for 24 and then say everything's fine when the house is burning behind you. You can't say that. Just straight up, you can't do that.
Yeah, they just don't have playmakers, man. I mean, 5-on-5, they look a lot better 5-on-5 than they do on the power play, if I'm being completely honest.
And their 5-on-5 play hasn't been very good either, but I got to agree with you on that one.
They're getting shots on net, which good things tend to happen. Hickett's talked about it in his postgame today that they just need a dirty goal, a greasy goal, to get them going.
Yeah.
Maybe you get a guy out in front, you get a tip in, right?
Absolutely,
And
clean up the garbage almost.
Exactly. And they just haven't been able to get that lucky goal, if you will, a greasy goal, to really get them going. And I think in all 5 games so far this season, they haven't scored the first goal. Not one time.
No, they did.
When?
The one game that they won.
Did they?
Yeah, Tyler Madden got the first goal like a minute and a half in against San Jose. Second game.
I don't remember that.
Rebound shot, right place, right time, minute 33 into the first period.
So either way, that's something where there's the formula. You gotta score first. And early in this game, through the first 5 minutes, I thought they looked really good.
No doubt about it. I agree with you 100% there.
And after they gave up the first goal, the wheels kind of came off really quickly. Can't happen, man. Just cannot happen.
No doubt about it. Something else we got to get into. I mean, we're going to get into it more in the rain weather report. We're just going to get the tip of the iceberg here. Samuel Fagimo looks... I mean, I'm not going to say bad because in reality, he looks like an average AHL player right now, which is bad for Samuel Fagimo's standards. He's trying way too hard. He's doing way too much. Which ends up throwing him out of position. And then when he's shooting the puck, I could guarantee you this, he's gripping his stick extra hard. And he's shooting it right at goaltender sometimes. Yeah,
we'll save a little bit of that for the rain weather report. I don't want to get too deep into that, but Hickett's did say as well in this postgame that maybe they're pressing.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, do you guys see... I didn't want to use the term hear the noise because it's AHL and the coverage of the AHL isn't the largest.
Yeah.
But I was like, do you guys understand and do you guys see these stats? And he read them off for me. He was like, yeah, I know before the game we were 1 for 21.
Oh.
And the penalty kill wasn't good either.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I think after this game it's 1 for 24.
Yep.
And he's right. He got those stats completely right.
Yeah.
So they know what's going on. They know the stats and it's in the back of their head.
It's all between their ears at this point.
Yeah.
Like they know it's there and it's got free real estate in their heads. It's got free real estate in guys like you, guys like me that show and fans that just show up to these games knowing, oh my goodness, this 1 for 21, 1 for 22, 1 for 23, 1 for 24 team is on the power play. Oh, we're not going to score. In half, you're kind of thinking of it that way. I'm hoping they score every time on the power play. That would be very nice. And if that was the case, hockey would be really easy.
Yeah.
For the people counting at home, 1 for 24 is 4.16%. The league average is 25%. That's 1 for 4.
Yeah.
What was the
ideal?
And I mean, I'm going to trace back a little bit to last year. What was the Reign power play percentage in the playoffs?
It was good, man.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It was really good. But then when you take out that whole PP1 unit with Tynan, Thomas, Fagemo, like
We sound like broken
Brant Clark,
records.
like Brant Clark, you're going to take all these guys out. Yeah. You're sliding the PP2 unit into the power play 1 unit, and then you're completely reforming your power play 2 unit, who's probably never played the power play in the AHL level.
The power play 2.
Can't confirm or deny that, by the way.
The power play 2, there's
Very
no
little.
hope. Yeah,
There's very little.
They're not. The power play 2 is not doing anything. You gotta get the power play 1 going because the power play 2 isn't doing anything.
Yep.
Last year in the playoffs, when you bring out, sometimes the power play 2 was better. You had Turcotte. You had Pinelli on the power play 2 unit, and sometimes when the power play 1 wasn't going, I'm pretty sure last year in the playoffs, Sturm had them go out first at one point where it was like, okay, power play 2 is going out there.
Okay.
At a point.
And then the power play 1. But then if the power play 2 had a really good turn, then you brought out the big dogs for the power play 1 with a potentially already demoralized opponent. So
100%.
that's the case. I mean, going from Friday the rain came out flat. Like, we're just going to get that out the way now. Sunday, they came out with a little bit of pep in their step. I'll give them that. The Rain need to play a 60-minute game. That just is something that they have not done this year.
Yeah.
Hockey is 3 20-minute periods. The Rain probably played, 25, 30 minutes of that game?
They're
at
just
full extent.
They're not disciplined, and that's kind of shocking from Sturm, because Sturm is a hard-nosed coach, and
he's
we know
a disciplined coach, that's for certain.
And so it's very interesting to see what is going to happen in the future.
And I mean, going down the line here, like, I might open up into a bit of a rant here, but 2 minutes left in the third period. Jacob Moverari cross-checks someone and then goes full lumberjack whack against a Silver Knights player. I can't remember exactly who it is. And he gets 2 minutes for slashing. First of all, I'm shocked he did not get 5 minutes for that because it was a hard slash with intent and intent to injure.
Yeah.
That's 2. That is immature. That is very immature and very undisciplined of the Ontario Reign. I mean, Jacob Moverari was in the NHL, in and out of the NHL last year. I mean, I don't know if it's... I mean, I don't want to say it's because, he missed the NHL and now he's all... No, I'm not going to say that, but dude, come on. You're better than that. You can't do that. You can't just go whacking at each other's shins. That's how you get your own guys hurt down the line, being careless. Because then that team remembers it, because for the people that don't know, hockey teams keep receipts. The next game, they're going to go right after you. And then they're going to go after the guy next to you, and the guy next to you, and the guy next to you. And after that, I mean, all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. That is hockey. You can't put it any other way. So doing undisciplined work, 1, hurts the guys around you, 2, hurts yourself because you end up in the penalty box, and 3, it's not a good look, period. End of story, end of rant. Thank you for listening.
Bad. Let's get into the rain weather report.
With that being said, here we go. So, do you want to get the 100%?
I think I got it last week.
Okay, I'll take it this week. The rain weather report, the 100% chance of rain, the guy that absolutely tore it up and was thunder and lightning the whole week, wreaking havoc. He might have scored his first goal. It's Atu Yamsen, 100%. Out of the 4th line, by the way.
I like it.
Give the 4th line a little bit of their credit. Atu Yamsen, of course, got his first goal on Sunday. Yes, Sunday, against the Henderson Silver Knights. Rebound shot, right place, right time. Gathers, pop, goal, celly, horn. You know the drill.
I think it actually came. I don't know if it was a full rebound shot. I think.
First period, by the way.
I believe it was off someone out in front. It might have been Hellenius who blocked the shot. Somebody blocked it, and I mean, Hicketts talks about getting greasy goals.
Yep.
And you only need 1.
Crease crashing garbage goals, yeah.
And I mean, you've gotten some.
Absolutely.
You have gotten some. It's not like nothing's going in or the puck isn't bouncing away. It is.
Yeah.
To a degree.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just unlucky.
And I mean, in this situation, as we're watching here, Joe Hickett's snap on net, Akira Schmid catches it with the right pad, kicks out, Atu Yamsen, perfect spot, goes right over his blocker, and the Reign tied the game up at 1. So, with that being said, it's not just the one goal that we're putting him at the 100% for. His forechecks and his back checks look very good.
Oh yeah, I think he made a really good play in the neutral zone on his back check today, where he cuts off a pass, wide open breakaway shot, tried to go 5-hole, didn't go through. Schmidt is played really well today. Gotta give him credit. The Reign aren't playing good.
I mean, the Ontario Reign here, I'm going to pull out the sheet today from the game because where was Akira Schmid? Akira Schmid coming into this game was 0-4 with a 4.33 goals against and an 8.51 save percentage. He stopped 31 of 32 shots today.
Now, here comes the question that I'm going to ask.
Yeah.
Are the Reign getting unlucky with these goalies who aren't good and they're making them look like NHLers? Or, let me rephrase that. Are they getting unlucky where they're playing really good? Average goalies playing really good against them. Or are they playing so bad that they're making these bad goalies look like NHLers?
I mean, I think it's a hybrid.
Like a mixture?
Like today, I think they did not look good. Like you can't, because what the Henderson Silver Knights did with their, I think it was a 1-2-2 they were rocking today. They pushed the Reign to the outside. They go puck in deep. They forced the Reign to use the boards instead of trying to cut one to the slot because, I mean, we saw this a couple times out of the fourth line today where a couple passes they just try to go inside with it, and there's 3 Silver Knights there right in front of the net looking to either block a shot, intercept a pass, or kickstart their forecheck. So, I think the Reign honestly just took a bunch of shots today. They have 32 shots on goal. Okay, yeah, sure. But I mean, you could probably look at the game center where the shots were taken. There were not many of them taken in the slot. I could tell you that.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. They haven't gotten a lot of A+ chances. Yamsen probably had the only 2 A+ chances of the game today, and that's saying something. You know, Yamsen played really well today, and I want to make this about Yamsen because it is the Reign weather report. All 3 zones looked really good, and I think the Yamsen that we saw today was the Yamsen that I can assume
the King saw at training
camp and the fans saw at training camp. And if he keeps playing like this, then we can see him move up in lines, and he's going to be someone who Sturm is going to have to play if you want to win games.
Absolutely, and he could become a force to be reckoned with under Jim Hiller's staff with the Los Angeles Kings.
100%.
So speaking of, I was at the LA Kings game on Saturday when they beat Utah 3-2. I could get into the Joel Edmondson scoring 2 goals, which is kind of ridiculous.
Not happening again.
But no, this is one thing that the Kings, I notice a lot that do. I was seeing in 216 at crypto.com, which is right behind the Kings net. Like the Kings are shooting that way periods 1 and 3. So one thing I noticed a lot out of those bottom 6 lines, you really use the boards, and it's a big behind you, dump and chase, dump and chase, dump and chase. It looks carbon copy almost to the Coachella Valley Firebirds.
Yeah.
Here's one thing I see out of the Reign. I'm gonna specifically point out the penalty kill here. We'll get back to the weather report in a moment. I'm kind of going off on a tangent here. The penalty kill, the Reign are behind the net, secured with their own puck. They don't shoot it down the ice immediately. That's kind of been their issue.
Yeah.
Like, all you got to do is backhand lift it. If it hits the boards and go into the stands, okay, cool. Now you got a face off, and now you can get fresh legs on the ice, per se. Or if your guys have been out there for 30 seconds, you stay locked in, you win a draw, and then boom, down the ice. Or boom, odd man rush. Boom, 1v2. And you got a chance to at least try and make something happen.
You have to.
The Reign are getting pinned to their own boards in the penalty kill, and the Henderson Silver Knights took full advantage of that today. Like, they saw every chance they could get. Like, there were some guys like, I mean, a few names were like Dvorak and some of the guys. Dvorak and Walsh mainly. They got the puck in that behind the net. They go to the boards. They're like trying to settle the puck. Dude, whack at it.
You gotta get it down the ice.
Whack at it. If it goes up the boards and they stop it at the point, at least fans and reporters can look at that and he's like, he tried.
He made the right play.
He tried.
Yeah.
He at least tried to get it out. You can't sit there, especially on the penalty kill when stuff's moving like this, and then the power play ends up full crashing you before you know it, and next thing you know, they got the puck out in front.
The Reign right now are a really bad team when it comes to the forecheck, which is interesting, and I think Sturm's going to talk about this when they have 4 days off coming up. It's interesting because they're a really good face-off team.
Probably one of the best in the league at this point.
I mean, Friday night against the Firebirds, Godin 63%, Stunica 62%, Hellenius 50%, Pinelli 73%. Yesterday, Godin 61%, Stunica 58%, Hellenius 63%. Pinelli today went 13%, but
12.5, 1 for 8. So
yeah, but that's not his game. And then we can go down the line, like in game 3, Godin 75%, Hellenius 64%. So it's not like they're a bad face-off team to where, let's say
they win it.
Let's say
like,
it is 5-on-5, and you shoot down the ice for an icing.
Yeah, you got a decent chance with the guy in the face-off.
Exactly. So it's especially on the power play, you got to shoot it down the ice. You cannot be waiting on the puck in your own zone because on the forecheck, it's almost like they don't know how to react.
I mean, it's almost in half like they're playing scared. They're scared to commit a delay game penalty. They're scared to turn the puck over. Play loose. Yeah. Let it fly.
You have to.
Something has to change with the Ontario Reign. I feel like they're playing too tense.
100%. And they have a lot of young kids too, so I mean, it's kind of
it makes sense. Give them some time to get acclimated, of course, as I brought up in episode 2. Like, you got to let the guys mesh a little bit. You got to let the guys get together a little bit. So, I mean, with that being said, this is the rain weather report. After all, what's your 50% chance of rain?
I'm going to go with Francesco Pinelli.
Yep.
Scored a goal against the Firebirds. Nice. We talked about it in the beginning during the recap. Batted it out of the air like a baseball player. Sturm moved him up to 2C. He thought he played well against the Firebirds. He talked about it in the postgame conference yesterday. He needs to get going. Yeah. And he got his first goal. He played better today.
Absolutely.
Or yesterday. And I think that if you can get him going a little bit, you can maybe put him on the power play 1. He's going to be someone who is going to be your primary scorer. He's that type of player.
Yeah.
He's very smooth. He skates east to west very well. He gets into the zone smooth.
I mean, once the guys start playing loose, you're going to see Francesco Pinelli pop up because I would like to say everybody is playing tense right now. And Francesco Pinelli is probably one of the, throw a little bit of bias into here, he's probably one of the best players in the American Hockey League if he's playing loose, if he's playing free and easy.
And he has that skill set to where he can be that player.
Absolutely.
It's not like he's a limited player, maybe like a Rowdy Walsh who you got him to be a presence and he plays.
Or a Sean Element.
He has a skill set. And I think that if you throw him higher in the line rushes, which Sturm did yesterday, he is going to play a lot better. He's going to score more goals. He's going to get assists. He's going to make the guys around him better.
No doubt about it.
We saw Fagima have more chances today.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he doesn't do anything with those chances, he had more chances. He had guys. Because Pinelli is bringing the puck up the ice.
Yep.
And he's a puck mover. He's a playmaker. Something that Reign don't have on this team.
Right now. Yeah. I mean, do you think Francesco Pinelli is going to potentially become the bumper on that PP1 unit?
I think he can be.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to shy away from Godin just yet, especially early in the season.
Yeah.
I think later on, if Godin's not showing what he should be doing, you got to put Pinelli there because you need someone similar to TJ Tynan, who's a big loss, man. I mean, it's a bigger loss than I think all of us thought.
Yeah. I mean, now it's just more prevalent than ever because it's not just him that the Reign are losing. They're losing. Oh, God, here I go again. Akil Thomas, Alex Turcotte, Brant Clark, Andre Lee. Did I miss anybody?
Nah, I think you got it.
Okay, I think I got everyone. But I'm going to sound like a broken record saying that. This is a completely different team. This is a completely different skill set of skilled players. The Reign need to come out. They need to be better in that sort of way.
Yeah.
So Francesco Pinelli is definitely one of those skilled players that the Reign need to use and they need to utilize, and I hope that they do use them down the line. Obviously, we're 4 games into the year right now, or 5 games into the year, excuse me.
Yeah.
No real reason to be panicking yet, in my opinion.
All right, 0%. You got a few options.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I use 2 players here?
Go ahead.
I mean, do I want
Why
to?
not?
I'll start with Phoenix Copley.
Yeah. Yeah. Bad.
Yes. Okay. Sure. He went 35 for 39 against the Coachella Valley Firebirds Friday, but
He made a lot of mistakes.
But the goals he let up are kind of mistakes.
Yeah.
They're just mistakes that you can't do. And I mean, here's the refresher. I mean, the Kings fans know this. Did he not just go 23-8-2 on the Kings a couple years ago?
It's crazy, man. Sports is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, one year you have an unreal year. Next year you get hurt. Third year you're flipped on your head and you're in the AHL. Like
one of the worst AHL goalies in the AHL right now. It's crazy, man.
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, it's only a matter of time till Eric Portillo comes back. So
illness.
Yeah. Do we have any specified reason outside of illness?
Kyle from the Hockey Royalty asked him about Portillo, maybe an update, and he's still sick. But Sturm says, if I'm quoting him right, he turned the corner the past few days. So that's kind of like PR, like coach not giving us a lot of information. He said he turned the corner. I assume he'll be back by Friday.
Yeah. That would be my assumption. He probably will get one of the 2 games against Henderson
Back-to-back.
this upcoming week. We will get to that. And the other 0%, I'm going to... Oh, actually, you know what? No, hold on. Let me stick to Copley a little bit. I almost just said Copley again. I mean, him releasing the puck, I mean, especially more prevalent on Sunday, just really questionable.
Yeah.
Like, you're releasing to guys where they're easily being forechecked. And goalies have that vision to see those guys. They're being forechecked, or the Ontario Reign as a whole are just not being vocal enough helping him out.
And it goes back to them being a good face-off team. Like, why even mess with that? They're not good on when they're getting forechecked. Just keep the puck and take your odd on face-off.
Yeah, absolutely. The other 0% I'm going to get to back-to-back, or are we 3 weeks in a row now? We might be 3 weeks in a row.
Are you going for Gimo?
Yeah.
I don't know if he got it last week.
Okay. Well, it's the second time.
No, he didn't, because I went with Chris Hyde last week, remember?
You went Hyder. That's right. Yeah. Anyways, Samuel Fagemo, second week in a row. I could also throw, is the PK guy Brad Schuler?
2 of 3. Not sure.
If it is Brad Schuler, I'd throw him in there too. But Samuel Fagemo at the 0%, once again, we explained this earlier, guy's playing 2/10.
Bad, yeah.
He's gripping the heck out of his stick. He's just got to be loose. Got to be free and easy with it. Now, I mean, is it because he's going from one of the star player roles to having to now be a veteran, a leader, and a presence, and an example for the Reign? Is it too much pressure for him? I don't know what it is. But do you think those factors might play into it for Samuel Fagemo?
I think the bigger issue with Fagemo may be the fact that
he scored 43 goals last year.
We expect more out of him.
Yes.
Right? So like that, not only that, but I think maybe he thought he was going to be an NHLer this year, and Andre Lee grabbed the spot over him. And that could mess with your mind a little bit, man. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Can be.
Yeah.
And not clearing waivers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 20. How many teams are in the NHL now? 32?
32.
So 31 other teams also believe that you're not an NHLer.
It will soon be 33 or 34 because I can guarantee you there's more teams coming. Portland. Okay. Maybe other teams in there.
Raleigh Walsh, another 0%er. Bad again. He had a nice zone entry in this game. And then other than that, I mean, he is noticeably bad. I'm not trying to pick on him because I think last week or 2 weeks ago, I kind of ranted on him a little bit.
Yeah.
He has not been good. And he has been noticeably hurting the team.
Yeah. And I think it's hopefully a progressional sign that he gets better as time goes. That's what we're expecting, and that's what we hope we're going to get out of Riley Walsh. I mean, right now, just there is no other way to say it than it doesn't look very hot for him right now.
Yeah. I mean, he got cooked on that goal. Who was it? Who scored it?
Raphael Lavoie.
Yeah, Lavoie just cooked him.
Dipsy doodle. I think he went between his legs on it too.
He He got his ankles broken, man.
A basketball term being used
Next
in
to
hockey.
the net.
Oh,
Can't happen.
He broke his ankles.
You want to tell
The Gary
people,
Thorne.
You want to tell the people about next week?
Yeah, next week coming up. Guess what? One thing we're going to learn about this week is that in 5 days, or at the time you're seeing this, 4 days, the Ontario Reign have to take on the Henderson Silver Knights again at Lee Family Forum in Henderson, Nevada. But wait, there's more. Saturday night, they're back here against Henderson again on Dia de Muertos night. We hope to see you there, of course. I will be there. He will probably be in...
Probably
in the press box. Can't confirm.
If the Yankees force a game 7.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm not showing up. I'm not showing up, bro.
So, Buddy's either going to be on top.
Clear.
So, Buddy's either going to be on top of the world or he's going to get his heart broken. Oh, no. The stress.
I'm hoping. This is what I'm hoping.
As an Angels fan, by the way, I am rooting for the Yankees. I can't stand Dodger fans.
I'm hoping before we wrap this up, I'm not going to this game on Saturday, November 2nd. I'm hoping I'm not at that game.
For the sake of it.
For the sake of my Yankees forcing a game 7. Because
Yeah.
down 2-0, not looking good.
Now
Hopefully
the
we win
series-
tonight.
If the Yankees are going to win the World Series, it's going to have to go a minimum of 6 games. Great. It's going to have
And
to
are
go
they going to
back
win
to
4
LA.
in a row? Probably not.
Let's see after game 3 tomorrow against Walker Buehler. The Yankees better come out swinging. You know what?
Last May, I was the luckiest sports fan in the world. The Rangers were going off in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Reign were undefeated in the Calder Cup playoffs. My Yankees were the best team in baseball. Now, my Yankees are down 0-2 in the World Series. The Reign are 1-4 now. The Rangers are good, but do I really care about the Rangers after what happened last year? I'm still heartbroken. Not really. Until the Yankee season is over, then I'm like, okay, full Rangers mode.
Yeah.
Right now, don't care.
Yeah. He's kind of just been that way. I mean, if you want to go down, we're going to go down the MLB route for like 1 or 2 minutes. Thoughts on Aaron Judge, real quick.
Bad.
Bad.
Samuel Fagemo, worst. Bad.
I went there.
Get
There
it going. Get it going tonight. Get it going tonight.
You got to have to.
I'm hearing Yankee fans are going to give him a standing O like Trey Turner in Philadelphia.
As they have to. They almost have to.
So get going tonight. Win game 3. Bullpen game tomorrow, game 4. Win that game. Tie it 2-2. Garrett Cole on the mound game 5. Go up 3-2. Win it in LA game 6.
Okay.
And then I can go game 7 against Henderson.
Let's
go, baby. Let's go.
He's fired up for it. And outside of that MLB bid, that is it for this week's podcast. One more time, he's Anthony Collazo from the Hockey News. I'm Joe O'Regan. Have a good week, everybody. We will see you next Monday. And by that point, your clocks will be moved back. Later.
Woo!